Okay folks, these fellas are moving along, so it is time to show you how to turn them into this. Well, g'day and welcome back to the channel. Alright, as you can see, we're starting to head to seed on these. A couple of them are showing signs of heading to seed, so we're going to pull them up and we're going to pickle them up. Hey, there is our haul. They've had a quick rinse outside just to save bringing too much dirt inside. We've also got some golden beets, which was in another recipe, and I'll throw a link up for that one. Here we have them all processed. We've got a mixture here, the little round gourmet ones. Also some cylindricas that didn't get the massive size, but yeah, it is what it is, and we're going to save what we can save. So what you want to do is break off the top. You want to leave at least an inch on the top and clean all the hair-like roots off the bottom. Break off the tap roots, about an inch long if you can get it. Because beetroots bleed, you don't want to lose too much out of them during the cooking process. So now we're going to put them into boil. These are a bit bigger than the goldens. I reckon we're going to need about 25 minutes for these ones. So just put them into a pot of water and boil them up. So there we go, there's our pot. Just load them all in there. Make sure they've all got plenty of water. Yeah, I'm even putting the little ones in, as I said. Save what you can out of the crop. Okay, so we need a bit more water because we want to cover them. And then they're going to go cook until tender. About 20-25 minutes, something like that. There's our beets or beetroot, whichever you want to call them, cooked to tender. And we're just going to pop them in some cold water to stop the cooking. As you can see, there's a lot of colour come out. That's even with doing it the way I've done it. Beetroot loves to lose the colour really easily. And of course you can use gloves while you're doing this because it can stain you. All right, there we go. I'm going to put some more cold water in there. I'm actually going to flush it out a couple of times with cold water just to bring that temperature down a bit. Been flushed a few times, so there's still a bit of warmth in there. That's fine. All right, we're going to top and tail them, and then we're going to peel them. And this is the part where you end up staining your fingers. Simple cut, top and bottom, and then they'll just pop straight out of the skin. All right, well, I'll go through and do all of these. Okay, for our next step, we're going to prepare them for the final product. Now what we need to do is either decide whether they're going to be quartered, sliced, cubed, whatever. In this case, I'm going to slice them. You know, some of the smaller ones, there's not going to be a lot come out of it. Now the other thing is, when you're in that other stage, if your knife feels like it's cutting through fibrous material, that means that the beetroot's gone too far and you don't want to use that one, so you just put it in your discard pile. And with your discard pile, you know, that is perfect stuff for the chickens, great antioxidants, you know, nice and healthy for them to eat. All right, and so you can use a knife, of course, but I prefer to use the mandolin. And we'll just go through and slice all of these up. Okay, there we go. There's our sliced beets. All right, let's get the brine ready for them. Alright folks, due to the joys of technology, I have deleted the section where I actually put the brine together. Now the recipe for it is 2 cups of balsamic vinegar, 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and half a teaspoon of allspice, ground allspice. There's our brine at the boil. Let's go straight in with our beetroot. Now that gets another 5 minutes just to bring that beetroot up to temperature. And it's canning time. All right, so everything nice and sterile, clean, hot water cleaned. So we get our jar, flip it over, tap any water off everything. Okay, so our canning funnel in. Just going to use a slotted spoon. And just pull the actual beets themselves out first. This way I'm not going to be canning a heap of brine with very little beets in it. Gives that all a little poke down. Want to leave about ½ inch of headspace on it. Then we're going to top it up with our brine. Okay, funnel into the next jar so it doesn't get dirty. Paper towel, which has been dampened with just a little bit of white vinegar. Just to clean that rim off. Get a little debubble. Push everything into place. Okay, sterilized flat. Put our ring on, just down a finger tight, and then back a little bit. Now these go straight into the hot water bath canner. It's got to be hot, not boiling, but it's got to be hot so you're not thermal shocking the jar. Okay, I do have some extra brine left over. Rather than let it go to waste, I'm going to do some onion and have them in the balsamic and beetroot. So just change the mandolin over to its thickest setting. Okay, and again, same as the cooked beetroot, we're gonna just pop that on the heat, bring it up to temperature, and then whack it in a couple of jars. Go, the onions warmed up, wilted down a little, which is going to help it to fit into the jar. Same procedure, give them a wipe down. Just make sure there's no contaminants that are going to ruin the seal. Put our flat lids on, and then put our rings on. All right, and then off into the water bath they go. "30 minutes processing time, 15 minutes cooling in the water. make sure to process it at the boil. As you can see, the other one that hasn't popped down yet was that one, and it's just gone now. All right, so we'll have another look at these in the morning when they're cool enough for me to handle. And here we are the next day, all nice and sealed up. Got them all labelled. Make sure you label well once they're cool so you know exactly what's what. And as you can see, I put a little bit of a description on there. It's beetroot in balsamic vinegar, 4th of the 10th, 21, so I know how old it is, what's in it. So that way in 12 months time, 2 years time, when I'm looking at it, I'm not wondering what it is. And we also have our bonus onions, which are brown onions with beetroot and balsamic. Again, 4th of the 10th, 21. All right, thank you very much everyone for watching, and bye for now.